So this part of our video, we are going to just show you some amazing and fabulous art here in Solon, Maine. And Solon happens to be this place that has so many great artists. So we're about to actually we're going to get to see the studio for Abby Shahn and the shrine of James Fangbone. They're two of my very favorite places. And it's just like a really cool look at something that you may not otherwise get to see. The shrine, I think, we're gonna have to ask Fang, but I think he's been working on it for like over 20 years. So it's very beautiful. And then Abby's studio right now, she has a couple new works, so we're going to see those. So so follow me and we'll check it out. This is so nice. I think they mowed a path for us. Oh, maybe not.
Oh, wow.
Just wait to see the inside. It's just so cool.
So tell us a little bit about Fang's art style.
Sure. So Fang is, so I've known Fang a pretty long time, at least since probably my teens, I think. And one of the things he loves is to create these beautiful shrines. And the shrines are to people. They're sometimes religious. They're sometimes about a theme. And he's really fascinated with lots of different cultural expressions and really fascinated by objects. So he sometimes makes little movable shrines in a suitcase, but he also makes these incredible, he's worked on this incredible shrine here. It has a porch that you can look at everything outside, and then we're going to go inside to see the inside, which I really adore.
So cool.
Isn't that cool? So that's, let's see, is it this? Let me look at that. I think it's the ladders back here. Yep. And there's more to photograph back here. I'm going to take some photos actually.
Amazing. It is unbelievably cool. I feel like, again, I realize how little culture I have in Central Maine. But this might be like the outside version of the Elsie Bates Museum for just like super cool and creative things.
Yeah, it's really fun.
I mean, I could just zoom in on stuff all day.
Yeah. It's good we have a bright day too, because I don't think there's electricity inside and it can be dark, so it's good we have a bright day.
Oh my god, I haven't even been considering there would be things inside.
Yeah, no, we're gonna go in. Daniel says, be careful on this ladder. It is kind of funky, but... All right, so we're gonna go inside the shrine, and you enter through like this kind of diaphanous like plastic that kind of puts you through. You have to kind of duck down, and then you go into the main shrine. So we're gonna go in, and there's a weird step, Nate, so be careful.
Oh my word.
Right? It's so cool. It's so cool. It's the coolest.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't this amazing?
All right.
So you can actually sort of see that some of these are the movable suitcases. So like this is a suitcase shrine. This is a suitcase shrine below it. So some of this is movable. And the times that I've seen Fang's art on display, he's actually taken pieces of this overall shrine to the location. It also smells like incense in here, which I love.
I have a horrible sense of smell that is not improved by the mask and my breath.
Right.
Thankfully, Serena, you got me a coffee. So
Oh, right.
my breath is coffee-ish.
Coffee.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I have to take a little stroll around the center
just stroll
pole.
around. It's interesting because there's like, there's so many different cultures. I don't know, it's just so cool. I'm going to take some photos because... So now that we've seen this amazing shrine, we're going to go back out and then we're going to go to Abby Shahn's studio space. So excited. All right, so we're going to go into Abby Shahn's studio, and Abby makes really incredible work. Like, she actually makes a lot of her own pigments and mixes them together, mostly egg tempura, and I adore her work. She's done all kinds of different mediums too. She's done globes, she's made magnets, but she's most known probably for her beautiful paintings. So we're gonna go in. She does have a show right now at the Speedwell Gallery in Portland that you can actually go see yourself if you'd like to. And so a lot of her work is there, but we're gonna see a little bit of it in the studio space. So we'll head in and then I can put in. Oh, is this? Oh, it's a dogwood maybe? Yeah. Look how many. Everything loves this. That's so cool. Oh. Oh, cool. So lots of her work is, usually when you're in here, that entire wall is covered, but a lot of her work is over at Speedwell Gallery. This must be, this is what she's working on now. Wow. Cool. I'm going to take some pictures of this later.
It's so cool seeing inside people's creative spaces.
Isn't it? In that little room, Nate, is where a lot of her pigments are. We're gonna get an awesome tour of Stu Silverstein's studio here in Sullivan. So, thanks, Stu. Yay! Oh, I love your stained glass. Stu, are you still doing glass stuff a little bit?
Rarely.
Rarely. I feel like that piece in the corner I remember from like either the old Bird Square or it was.
Well, it's possible.
Yeah.
Some of them are pretty old.
Yeah. I love that this is cardboard. That's so cool.
It's cardboard.
I recently did a mask out of cardboard, and I love the corrugated cardboard, how it looks so textured.
Yeah.
So cool. Alright, I'll get out of the way. Okay. Ooh, look at this little stove.
All right.
Okay, I want to talk about this piece just a little bit. I did this piece with an art assistant. And I've never had an art assistant before, and I'll tell you how that came about. I did the piece about a year ago, and then I finished it. At least I thought I had finished it. And I went back to it the next day, and it had changed. I said, what the hell's going on? I couldn't figure it out. I went back to it the third day, and it had really changed. And I said, holy shit, what is going on? And then I realized that a mouse was eating away at the piece because I had incorporated flour in with the medium. So I said, God, I have to get rid of this mouse. It's destroying the piece. Couldn't get rid of the mouse. And then I had this epiphany that maybe it's okay. Maybe the mouse will be my assistant, and the mouse and I will finish the piece. So I continued working on it. So instead of replacing what I lost, I just filled in the blank areas with color, and it suited me just fine. And that's how I acquired an assistant.
That's amazing.
That is pretty awesome.
Is that the first time that's ever happened? Or?
Well, it's happened before, but I used to fight it, and but now I go with it, and I see what the mouse wants to do, and I go along with the mouse's idea.
This makes me think of the movie Ratatouille, but instead of cooking, it's art.
Right.
That would be a much better movie.
I love those masks, Stu. Those are great. Oh, and your fish. I always like your fish, too. Those creatures, too. I don't know what kind of creatures they are, but they're awesome. Top left. I love that you use so many different materials.
I use what's around, what's available.
Yeah.
I feel like we have seen so many outdoor galleries today.
Yeah.
Like that was something I was not expecting, is to see so much kind of public art,
Yeah.
which is beautiful in terms of just being outside.
Do you leave stuff outside in winter?
I do.
Wow.
Not all, some things I leave out.
That's so cool. Wow, I love that. I love those fish. Do they have, what are their teeth made? Are their teeth?
They look like real teeth.
Cool. Wow. I have one of your pieces that's you had made with a real jawbone, but then constructed like a deer, I think deer jawbone, and then you had constructed the top.
Take a picture and show it.
Okay.
I'd like to see it.
I love it.
I forgot what I had.
And you used like feathers on the top, so it like had the skull. You created part of the skull, feathers. It was cool.
I can't imagine. I'd appreciate a photo.
Sure. I'll do it. Oh, and it's ready for
a match.
yeah. That's so cool. Hey everybody, so we're here now, another awesome Solon artist. So this is Barbara Sullivan, and she does a lot of fresco. It's very cool. We've had her as a guest artist before, but we thought we'd show you her studio again a little bit, and her incredible brick oven, her stone oven that I would love to hear stories about.
Making an outdoor bread oven. So I mostly use it for pizza, but I've used it for a lot of other stuff.
It's very cool.
Yeah, thank you. It's got some cracks
Yeah.
because of the hard winter and stuff,
Yeah.
but it still is together.
That's awesome.
And
After seeing your oven and stews, it makes me like,
I want to. Stu's got a great one. And Stu has a way easier method of. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I just kind of.
I feel like it's similar to what I do. I'm like, I'm gonna do this, and then I just do it, and it's never quite the way that.
I've often thought, like, I don't know. I mean, I just don't know. It's maybe a little chilly in here, but
Oh yeah,
it's kind of like an air-conditioned space.
it is. Look at this AC. It feels
It
great.
is kind of good, really, when it's really hot.
Yeah, it feels great.
But so I've been packing up.
Yep.
Well, everything's packed for the show.
Yep.
It was going to be a show with these 4 different installations, and so anyway, I just decided. I think I'm going to still have the show in the fall, so I'm just leaving it back up. It's kind of in my way, honestly, but it's okay. You know, I'm just going to do it. I know. I borrowed so much work back from people. Like, I just borrowed this beaver and the chainsaw from Pete Pfeiffer, and I. Oh, God. And he's like, I'm missing my beaver. And I'm like, okay. So, and then I'm just working on something. I'm doing this. I have a niece that lives in San Francisco and up in Sonoma, and I'm making her this big shaped seascape which is sort of fashioned after this.
Yeah.
Because she's been really wanting, like, to buy something. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And she's also been wanting to just have some Maine thing there. So I'm sort of figuring it out. But I worked on it yesterday, and I'm going to cut some more out of it.
Awesome.
Move it around a little bit.
Yeah.
And then this little project that I'm working on during COVID is that I've been making all these little birds and giving them away to benevolent people. That's what's in your package.
Really? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
So I'm so excited. I want to send one to Dr. Shaw and Janet Mills.
Oh.
And I just contacted this friend of mine who knows Janet really well.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
So anyway, so I'm just sending them out.
They're adorable.
And I had all these plywood scraps, and I just decided, screw it. I'm just gonna get them going.
I love that piece with the nest.
Oh, my little daughter from ages ago.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's like a flipping mess in here, but
So cool. It's so cool to see though where people create and
yeah. No, it is. I mean, I always love seeing people's slides or seeing studios. You know, it's always so fun. To see what goes on and everything.
It's fun to see the ways that people organize or not organize space, but it makes you think about how you could also, if you're creating what you could do. I love it.
Yeah.
It's inspiring.
But
And if I was going to make it, need a handle. And then you're just going to start playing with whatever designs you like to go with this. And I think These are the long ones. So you might pick out some different patterns of wood. But you might just start playing around with how you want it to look. Maybe some more. And we like that a lot. Nice contrast. And we don't like the bees flying around.
Yeah. I noticed this.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
And you just keep playing until you're happy with what you're looking at. Which I don't like that very much. I tend to be much more balanced pattern than Amanda. Yeah, he does it wonky. So this I like. It's like this balance.
Right.
This pair. This pair.
Yeah.
Yeah, all these different pairs. So anyways, then you have to glue all these up, let them set.
Yeah.
After they're all glued up, you plane them down and shape them out. And you're taking this. Once they're glued up, you do the opposite.
Yeah.
And you just basically trace it out.
Oh, and then you cut it.
And cut it out,
Cool.
right?
Yeah.
And then I would have this. I plane it down to make the bevel.
That's so cool.
And then we put on handles, which I don't have here, but we put handles here with the dowels on each side and glue them up.
And where did all the wood? Do you guys get it from certain spots, or like, do you have favorite wood?
Some of it, yes.
Yeah.
The walnut's really nice.
Mm.
Maple finishes beautifully.
Yeah.
So does cherry. But walnut's just that nice contrast.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah. So, most of it's we inherited from our dad,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some of it we bought. This walnut may have come from the neighbor's tree, my neighbor's tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. So you guys inherited the wood shop.
So yeah.
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 Did you guys learn from him too, or did you kind of teach yourselves, or
Both.
both?
Both. Yeah.
That's so cool.
We didn't specifically do these things with him.
Yeah.
She did more than I did, but yeah.
There's a finished one that had a crack in it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So.
What a bummer then.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's nice to hang. But
so
we,
pretty.
that's the bevel that we put on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
gorgeous.
that from that. I was just working on spoons today. So we carve out the bowl and we sand this, and then you try to cut off as much wood as you can, because taking it off by hand is work. And then this is taken off by hand. Well, this one's better. Taken off by hand and then sanded with a machine as much as I can. And then a little bit of hand sanding, and we wet them down to raise the grain, and then I'll sand it off again, and then we'll oil sand them, and then we get to that stage.
Wow. So it's a pretty long. It seems like it's a long process.
Yeah, we're getting better. We sort of gradually have added machinery that helps with sanding.
Yeah.
But sanding is like where things slow down.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the spoons tend to be much more one-off, kind of individual. There's a fair amount of handwork.
This is such a cool grain
Yes.
on there.
Yep.
Wow.
Yes. And then the little machine that we have to do sand the bowls,
Yeah.
the inside of the bowls doesn't fit in these little teeny ones. So that was that was Mimosa, and that was a
Yeah.
lot of hand sanding.
And sanding.
Yep. And
Cool.
yeah, and then you can sort of see the process. These guys get polyed because they're not going into food.
What are those?
Bottle opener.
Oh, okay. I saw one unfinished. I'm like, is that some kind of avocado tool?
Yeah, no, people like come up to them and go like cheese grater?
Like, nope.
Yeah.
You need to drink more.
Yeah, this hardware you can buy, and it comes with a template we didn't like, so we basically are using, these skills to make.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, and they're nice because they sort of sit out and and
they're beautiful.
right, and then I don't know. So the things that I use the most are spoons, spatulas, just like all the time.
I feel like this is what I cook with a lot, is a spatula.
Yep.
I love them.
And then this is new, this size, but these guys, so this is a toaster tongue, but I use it all the time to if you're I grow those little shishito peppers where you blacken them, you need to turn them over, or you're making stew and you're browning little pieces of meat, that kind of thing, to grab things. And some people buy them as cheater chopsticks.
Yep.
And then last year we made some for somebody who is a soap maker, and she wanted people to not handle the soap, but I liked the size.
Cool.
I don't know.
These are cool too.
And so they're for risotto.
I was gonna say that's for me for pasta. I use that kind of thing.
Right. Well, my sister's friend said this is like 2 servings of pasta fit in there, and my thought that's not in our family. That's not 2 servings of pasta.
That's one.
But a lot of people are buying them to stir their sourdough starter. I have a friend who's a quilt maker, who's like Italian, and she, we had 2 shapes, and she, and she already had one, and she used all 3. She said this is the one. So I guess when you're stirring risotto, you don't want to squinch you don't want it to turn into porridge, right? I mean, it's sort of porridgey, but so this lets you get sort of flat on the surface, but you're not
you're not squishing stuff.
Right? Yes,
That's
exactly.
cool.
Yes,
That's great.
I don't make risotto that much, or risotto-y things, but I do use it all the time. Yeah. But stirring your starter too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because everybody's making sourdough lately.
Yeah.
So the little spoons with the ring handles, is that the wood that makes the handle so kind of, they've got like a Dr. Seuss quality to them.
Right, that's like a curly grained maple.
So pretty.
Wood is beautiful, and the more you finish it, the more it pops out.